Hey Trading Addicts, what's up? This is Jeff Kohler, aka The Option Addict. I'm over at www.tradingaddicts.com. Coming late this evening with a weekly watch list, and what's happening here is S&P futures are up, and that's into an EFSF downgrade that came out just earlier today. So, a couple things we need to pay attention to. I mean, obviously we've been talking about the fact that the S&Ps have really not a whole lot of interest in going down. This move tonight, I mean, everything looks great and what have you, but what's really interesting is what we had talked about last week in copper and how that's kind of coming to fruition tonight. So we had discussed early on a couple of weeks ago that as soon as copper were to cross 360, it makes sense to be a bull in equities. The reason why is that when you look at this profile of copper on the way up, there's a lot of volume pockets, and copper right now getting into a nice one here that should take it all the way up to where it should start to consolidate a little bit, which is all the way up to 380. And that's the kind of leadership movement we haven't seen in copper in a long time, and I think we'll probably see throughout the week, which means equities into weakness make out for a pretty decent buy. So the first volume pocket, as you can see here, my cursor's highlighting that, from 360 all the way up to about 380. That should be the place where it pauses first, and then from 380 up to 4. I think copper's on its way to 4. I've been saying that for quite a long time now, but we're starting to see that in motion. So we should see price get sucked up to 380 first. When it passes through 380 on up to 4, and that should mean equities probably don't have a whole lot of downside to them. If anything, they grind their way up like they have been. And what's been interesting lately about this market is we've been able to ignore the S&Ps and really just go out there and trade individual stocks. Now, as far as themes, I mean, I'm sure you've seen, the Apples and the Amazons and the Baidus. There's not a whole lot of great action going on there, and maybe that's just me and that's my bias, but I've kind of shelved those stocks for a little while. And what's been working for us lately is we've been going to the stocks with the high short interest. The charts have been showing some pretty decent formations, and we've been making a killing there. I want to continue to do that, and so let me just kind of run through a bunch of stocks that I like on the week. We'll want to get back into soda, I think, especially if we see some weakness. We bought some calls on Wednesday, I believe, caught the breakout and took profits on those on Friday, but I think the short covering starts to come in once the stock starts to get up back towards highs. So if this stock opens up, not too far away from where it closed on Friday, I want to leg back into some calls, but just get a little bit more time until expiration. I like soda. I like the look of MPEL into a little bit of weakness. I like the way this Hornbeck, HOS, has been coiling up for quite a long time. That should be a stock that breaks out come tomorrow morning that I think we'll probably take a look at. I like the ags. I've got some potash calls, but I love the look of this IPI. We've been talking about this stock for a while, and I think the best opportunity was to buy that into weakness on Thursday. Passed on it. It's looking really good here today. I've also got potash calls, and potash traded really well on Friday. So I think if you get an opportunity to buy these ags, they look really good. I like Express Scripts just for the same reason. Volume pocket on up to 52. Give or take, so I think the bounce makes sense to buy here in that range. And some of the themes that I like, aside from focusing on small caps and some of these penny stocks have been working really well, are energy stocks. If you look at where the OIH is in relation to all other industry groups and in relation to the S&Ps, it's lagged quite a bit. And it seems like it's at that point, kind of like crude oil was a couple months ago, when it's been following this downward trending trend line here. And if this pops up tomorrow, I think we want to buy energy stocks, looking for them to play a little bit of catch-up. So I'd be looking for this trend line to break and an eventual test of the 200-day moving average in the OIH. But some of the longs that I like would be like WFT. I actually love the spot here, just looking for an eventual breakout of these highs, get back up to the 200-day. WTI. Which for the same thing, looks like same nice volume pocket up overhead. We bought some equity in DVR, but then also ATPG, which is again heavily short. But if this stock starts to turn up a little bit, I think we go after this one. I like the steel stocks this week into this weakness. I think you want to buy these early tomorrow. AK Steel and US Steel. Really don't care about the others. I like the setup in KLAC. buy the dip here ahead of the breakout. As far as financials are concerned, I want to be a buyer of GS. And what else did I have? ATI. Those are some of my favorites. The penny stocks, we got really active in penny stocks this last week, and they went absolutely nuts. I mean, that's been one of the best places to put your money, funny enough. But some of those that I'm watching this week that we'll set alerts on will be Microvision, MVIS, nice volume and good turnaround off the lows. ACPW, which I think once that thing perks up and gets above $1, it gets back up to $1.25. If the shippers continue to go, we've been following those shippers. I love this DHT. A couple others, NTWK, just like the little base down here near the lows, and TSEM. We've got a couple other alerts set, but those are some of the charts I like the best. Let me hit a couple of small cappers and we'll call it good for the night. KVA. We nailed that thing last week. Caught a stellar move in that, but if you look, this thing's about ready to break out of a really nice base, and it's got a lot of space to run. Probably first to the 200-day, but next level of resistance is going to be up at about 240, 250. Love the look of that. RAS, like the way this thing's setting up. Probably try to get that if I can tomorrow. Again, next level of resistance is all the way back up here, getting close to about 575. Couple others. The solar stocks have been money. This RSOL just looks ready to see a big size move here. Probably back up to 2. I'm watching that one. GMXR, like the look of that. Dexo, we cut a nice one in that a couple weeks ago. It's coiling, looks ready to go again. ENTR, decent amount of short interest. If that thing perks up a little bit, that should be a nice breakout. A couple others. GSAT. Should probably throw that in with the penny stocks. I actually, as a disclaimer, own some of that, but I'd be looking to buy some more on the way up. And then RAM Energy, the way that it's coiling up here near the highs looks good. So, guys, I think it's going to be another one of those weeks where we can just trade equities and forget about the the S&Ps for a little while. With copper doing what it's doing, I just don't see a whole lot of downside risk. Or if there is, I think that's those are opportunities to be buyers. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you guys all have a stellar week. This has been the Option Addict. That's been my watch list. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome night.